Welcome to The Explainer. Today we're talking about something huge, a hidden danger that's quietly making common infections really, really hard to treat. It's something called antimicrobial resistance, and honestly, it affects every single one of us. But here's the good news. Once we understand how infections actually spread, we can become our own best defenders.
So let's just start with a number that's, well, it's pretty shocking. Picture the ICU, the one place you're supposed to be the absolute safest. Now get this, up to 70% of patients in the ICU are given these really powerful broad-spectrum antibiotics. And often, this is before the doctors even know for sure what's wrong. So you have to ask, why is this happening? And what are the consequences of this kind of just-in-case approach?
To really get to the bottom of this, we're going to go on a little journey through 5 key areas. We're going to start by pulling back the curtain on this silent pandemic of resistance. Then, we'll put on our detective hats and trace the secret paths that infections take to get around. And finally, and this is the part that really matters, we'll discover how you, right in your own home, have the power to protect yourself, your family, and your whole community. Okay, so let's dive into this first part. Let's talk about a crisis that is literally unfolding right under our noses. You've probably heard that scary term superbugs, right? But do you really know how they're created? It's a story that, believe it or not, we're kind of writing ourselves, and it's about time we all learned the truth. Have you ever done this? You go to the doctor with a really bad cold, and you walk out with a prescription for antibiotics, just in case. Yeah, you're not alone. In fact, for every 3 antibiotic prescriptions that are written, studies show that one of them is completely unnecessary. It won't do a thing for a virus. And it gets worse. Up to half of all antibiotic treatments can be just plain wrong. The wrong drug, the wrong dose, you name it. And this isn't just a waste. It's a recipe for disaster. So think of it like this. Every single time we misuse an antibiotic, we're basically sending the bacteria to the gym. We are training them to get stronger. Sure, the weak ones die off, but the strongest ones, they survive. They learn our playbook, and then they pass on their new superpowers to the next generation. Over time, we're left with this army of superbugs that are totally immune to our best weapons. That is antimicrobial resistance, and it's a battle we really can't afford to lose. And let me be clear, this is not some science fiction threat in the distant future. It is happening right now. During the COVID-19 pandemic, almost 1 out of every 5 hospitalized patients got a secondary bacterial infection after they got the virus. And these weren't just any old infections. A lot of them were caused by these superbugs. The result? These already incredibly vulnerable patients were 3 times more likely to die. That is the devastating, real-world cost of this. So the big question is, how do we fight back? Well, the answer might surprise you. It's not just about inventing newer, stronger drugs. It's about getting smarter. It's about stopping infections from even taking hold in the first place. And to do that, we need to become experts in how these tiny little invaders travel from one person to the next. It's like the ultimate game of hide and seek. There's this tiny, invisible enemy lurking inside one person, and it's desperately looking for a way into another. So how does it do it? Let's uncover the secret pathways these microscopic assassins use to travel right under our noses. So infections pretty much travel on 4 main highways: through the air we breathe, the food and water we consume, through direct contact with our skin, and of course through bites from things like mosquitoes and ticks. You know that feeling when someone sneezes right next to you and you can practically feel the germs in the air? That is the respiratory route in action. These tiny, invisible droplets packed with viruses are launched into the air like microscopic missiles, just waiting for the next person to breathe them in. It's exactly how the flu and other nasty bugs spread like wildfire. And remember that time you heard about a whole town getting sick from the water supply? Or when a bad batch of lettuce made the news for all the wrong reasons? That's what we call the common vehicle route. It's when a single source, like our food or water, becomes this accidental super spreader, infecting dozens, sometimes even hundreds of people all at once. And finally, there's the old-fashioned way, direct contact. This can happen when you touch a contaminated surface, like a doorknob or a shopping cart. Those surfaces are basically germ magnets. The other way is through a simple cut or a scrape on your skin, which is pretty much like leaving the front door wide open for bacteria to just march right into your body. Okay, so now that we know how these germs get around, it's time to talk about how we stop them dead in their tracks. And you know what our most powerful weapon is? It's not some new pill or a vaccine. It's something every single one of us already has: knowledge, and specifically the absolute game-changing power of early detection.
It's such a simple idea, but it's one of the most powerful things we can do. The public health experts have a formal name for it, isolation, but you can just think of it as keeping the sick people away from the healthy people. It's not a punishment, it's about protection. It's just common sense, and it is absolutely the key to stopping an outbreak before it even gets started.
Just think about it. If you wake up with a sore throat and a fever, what's the first thing you should do? It's not running to the doctor demanding antibiotics. It's staying home. By doing that one simple thing, you're not just taking care of yourself. You are actively protecting your family, your coworkers, your entire community. You are personally breaking the chain of transmission, one sick day at a time. You see, this whole idea of early detection, it's more than just a health tip. It is a call to action. It's about us taking control of our own health, becoming proactive defenders against disease. It's about a fundamental shift in our mindset, away from, I'll go to the doctor when I'm sick, to, I'm going to do everything I can to stay healthy and protect others in the first place. For way too long, we've been kind of passive when it comes to our own healthcare. We wait until we're really sick, then we sort of hand our bodies over to the experts and just hope for the best. But what if there was a better way? What if we could become the CEOs of our own health, making informed decisions and taking proactive steps to protect ourselves and our loved ones? That's the new mindset, and it's a total game changer. This whole vision really boils down to 3 simple, easy-to-remember steps. See it, soothe it, and stop it. First, you learn to see the early signs of an infection. Then, you soothe your symptoms safely at home. And finally, you stop the spread by practicing good hygiene and protecting those around you. See it, soothe it, stop it. It's that easy. And believe me, it is that powerful. Just imagine a world where emergency rooms aren't overflowing with people who just have the flu. A world where our doctors and nurses have more time to spend with their absolute sickest patients. A world where our healthcare system is strong and resilient and actually ready for real emergencies. That's the world we can create when we empower ourselves with the knowledge to manage our own health. Okay, so now let's just pull back for a second and look at the big picture, because this isn't just about you or me. It's about all of us. It's about how our individual, proactive choices can create this massive ripple effect of health and well-being that touches every single corner of our society. The front lines of this battle are not in some high-tech research lab or a hospital. The front lines are in your kitchen, your bathroom, your office, your school. Every time you wash your hands the right way, or cover your cough, or make that choice to stay home when you're sick, you are a soldier in the fight against superbugs. Every single time you choose to stay home when you're sick, you're not just being considerate. You are being a hero. You are actively saving lives. You're protecting the future of medicine for our children and our grandchildren. You are a guardian of our most precious medical resources. Never, ever underestimate the profound power of that one simple choice. So at the end of the day, the science is clear. The pathways are understood. We have the tools, we have the knowledge to face this threat head on. The only question left is, do we have the collective will to actually make these changes together?